Quitting cigarettes is so hard because it ties in with almost every part of your life, especially if you smoke in the car or if you use it during your breaks. I went through a similar experience when I was cutting weight for about 10 months. My trainer had me cutting out a lot of parts of my diet, and I didn't realize how many parts of my life that they tied into. Like, I couldn't eat popcorn, and I used to go to the movies all the time. That was the place that I went to just kind of decompress. But because I couldn't eat popcorn and I couldn't drink soda, which was part of my movie experience, it made going to the movies not enjoyable. I then had the exact same problem whenever I needed to work, because I used to go to this coffee shop and I would drink a cup of coffee while I was doing writing or whatever type of planning work that I was doing, but I couldn't have milk at that time, and so even drinking the coffee didn't taste good, which ruined that experience. It made it difficult for me to work. And I was shocked at how many places food was tied into the habits of my life, where for that 9-month period of time, I literally had to relearn how to live my life because everything had been centered around food in these different places. And cigarettes, like any other addiction, follow a similar pattern. So that unwind is unbelievably difficult. But I'll share with you one thing that was really helpful to a friend of mine when I was helping him get off of weed. He was smoked weed for 20, 30 years, and finally felt that conviction and really wanted to stop. But he kept running into one major issue. Every time he would start to quit, this pressure would start to build up, because he would think, well, I can probably not smoke right now, but I don't know about tomorrow or the next day or the rest of my life. And then suddenly, instead of having to make the decision to not smoke right this second, he was trying to make the decision to not smoke for the rest of his life. And the problem with that is that the grace that we have is for today. It's not for tomorrow. That's why Jesus said, don't worry about tomorrow. Today has enough trouble of its own. And when you pair this with what David said, that your grace renews every morning, you start to get this perspective that the grace for the day is sufficient. But when you start trying to use today's grace to solve tomorrow's problems, you always come up short, because not only do you end up burning up the grace that you needed for today on something that you don't even have the ability to affect yet, but you end up hopeless and usually falling back into sin, because you realize that as of this moment, standing here right now, I don't have the grace to attend to tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. A big part of the walk of faith is trusting that Jesus is here with me today, but he's also going to be there with me tomorrow when tomorrow's problems get here. I think that's why Jesus says, don't worry about tomorrow, right? Why he says, don't worry at all. Instead, abide. Abide in this moment right here, right now. The question is always, can I not pick up the cigarette right this second? Is that possible? And here's what I'll tell you. 99.9% of the time, the answer to that question is going to be yes. And if you have to reduce it down to this second, and you just have to go 1 second at a time, 1 moment at a time, I promise you, if you're sitting there looking at a pack of cigarettes and I said, can you not touch that pack of cigarettes for 1 second? You're going to say yes. And then once you get through that 1 second, if I said, could you not touch it for 1 more second? You're going to say yes. Sometimes we have to bring it down to that small in this walk. Sometimes we have to get to the moment by moment basis with the Lord, and we just have to overcome the next moment and the next moment. Now, I don't know your journey, but I can hear your passion and your desire to see this thing put to rest. And just know that the Lord can absolutely carry you through this thing. You just have to walk with him moment by moment and let him transform you from the inside out. And if you just keep that walk, that moment by moment walk with him, one day you'll wake up and you'll be like my friend. You'll never go back.